Hey guys, Pastor James here, and man, it has been too long just since sitting down and talking to you. And in prayer this morning, just felt the need to just reach out, and it's Prayer and Care Month here on this side, the big water, and just felt like I wanted to just reach out, and actually I feel the Lord telling me to start doing these videos, like more of just offering type time frame videos, just to reach out and touch and keep us in line. I can't imagine how the Sunday videos are working. I know we've got speaking team and different people with just growing responsibilities, and I don't know how the team is using our Sunday videos here, because they let me just see, I got a little internet thing happening here, because the services are just so long and everything is just kind of spontaneous almost. I mean, we're prepared and we go into it prepared, but let's keep having a video message here. I guess I have internet, maybe I don't have internet. What's happening? Anyway, we'll work on that afterwards. So just a big update in terms of what's going on over here. And really what was in my heart this morning was to make sure that we're continuing to focus on the things that need to be focused on, important things in our life, in our gathering there, keeping you in line with what the Spirit of the Lord is doing here in our church, what's going on with PC, in myself, because it's really a lot to keep up with. So let's start with, and probably today will be a little bit longer than normal, and but there's some things that you have to just know if you don't already know, just to kind of stay informed. Number one is that we've got a new website platform that is happening. And, if you haven't already got to that website platform, try that out. Reach Ministries Community. We should have circulated that out, but if you didn't see it, or if it didn't get into your WeChat or whatever, go and try out that platform. It has everything in there that we're doing, and we try to keep it up to date. Of course, we keep Shanghai vague, and nothing in there about SCC specifically. You have to read between the lines, but Healing Home is represented, and Learning Beyond is represented, just because we feel like we can represent those, and we do want to be making sure that we are actively talking about them. We're actively participating in fundraising for them as well. And so that's one big update. ReachMinistriesCommunity.net, new website platform that we're building. On that platform, and as you've already know from when PC was there, is the pastor's blog. That's going to be a great resource for you for connect groups, for simple study guides, for your devotional times, for just exhortation, a good swift kick in the bottom from time to time. We're getting our team here actually writing blogs in addition to PC and myself. So, for example, this morning we have one of our blogs that we just call Reach Team, and we have different team members that send it out. So one of our team members, Caden, wrote a blog, and we sent that out this morning on evangelism. And so access the blog, just go to the website, go to pastor's blog on there. I guess we do have a URL for that, but you know what? I don't know it right off the top of my head, but I'll fix that by the time I come and talk to you again. It'll have to be pastor's blog at probably reachministriescommunity.net, and it might already be. I might have already set that up, but I just can't remember at the moment. So that's a huge update that you need to be looking at and you can really stay in touch with the heartbeat and everything that's happening by keeping up with that blog. As well, PC and I are, man, we're running pretty hard. It's fun. You've heard me testify and just share. In the past 6 months, the Lord has just done such a refreshing work in my heart, in the life of our church here, believing for the same there in Shanghai. But that with that, PC and I have made the decision to really just kind of get back into some sort of travel schedule, and really just going to, we don't really have a desire to go to every place in the world, but we do have a desire to continue to be active in the places that God has opened up doors, and in the places where we can, where works. Obviously, Shanghai is an obvious, Manila. So this year, actually this month, I'll be heading over to Manila again. It's a very quick trip. Pastor Summerall has me. I'm literally there 6 days, preaching 8 times in 6 days, and not one day that ministry's not happening, and then I'm back on an airplane and back here. So it was a very, very quick trip. That's happening this month. Then next month, PC's back there with you, and we're working on that schedule to keep her active and obviously easily productive while she's there. And PC really has it on her heart. She's going to be coming at least twice, possibly 3 times a year. And in addition to her, we'll have Abby coming. We'll have James coming, potentially Jesse. Of course, she's having a baby in a couple months right now, so she may or may not be on the immediate schedule. Then we'll have Maddie actually coming, and Maddie's going to be doing something new. We're starting a new ministry that's just simply a China tours. And we're not trying to make it into missions trips. We're not trying to make it into ministry trip. We just want to expose people to coming to China. And so Maddie's going to be taking that first one. I'm hoping that that's something that she kind of can have on her heart and begin to develop and build into the years ahead. Abby will be leading the same type of trip that we had last year. Or, wow, that was still this year. A lot's happened in the past year, so that's happening. And then in addition to all that, I'll actually be, for the first time, breaking into new ground. I'm going to Nepal, and it's also a quick trip, and it's also an exploratory trip for me. But I'm going to be very, very active, very busy in ministry. It's still, I've never been there before, and I like to go to places. When I go for the first time, I like to go by myself. I like to be able to be focused. I like to be able to learn the country, the culture, the host, the ministry, opportunities. And so I'm going to Nepal for solo, all by my lonesome, with a host on the ground. And I'm going to be there for approximately 10 days. And I'm going to be in around 4 different cities. And we're going to be conducting crusades in all these cities, pastors' trainings and meetings, and just some revival services, visiting some different places where some poor and different things. Ministry is always needed, but it's going to be a big trip. It's going to be a little bit longer trip for that type of trip than what I normally schedule, and it's going to stretch me a whole bunch. And we're actually sponsoring all these. We're doing 3 different crusades. So looking to really pull in and sponsor and bring in a few thousand people to these 3 different locations. Actually, more than a few thousand is what they're hoping for. But we'll see. We'll see how the planning goes and how successful they are at getting people out, and how the Lord shows up. And so that'll actually be a a sponsorship opportunity, because that's costing more budget than normally we have traditionally spent. I've not been a crusade minister for years. As you know, I started the ministry with 10 crusades in the Philippines, and when revival fires just began to burn in my heart again this year, just at an increased level, and I really just began to say yes to the Lord, begin to release all the things that I didn't understand about the past decade, and just release them into the Lord's hands. I've been totally just set free to just believe God and to go for it once again. And this is one of those areas that I just said yes to. Actually, Christine and I said yes to, but this first one I'm doing solo. And I said yes to the Lord returning back to some of those roots of tent ministry and those evangelistic roots that where the Lord first started teaching me about ministry, and then opening doors in ministry. And it's always been a desire in my heart to go out and begin to do crusades in unreached, untapped areas. And so that's what I'm doing, and just believing God. Trip's gonna cost about $20,000 USD, and so we're just believing the Lord for just those funds to come in as we just simply share about it and talk about it some. And Christina will be sharing about it a little bit more when she's there next month. So Nepal's happening, and so that takes up the next really 4 or 5 months. Just boom, it's just gonna be nonstop. And from there, I wanted to talk to you about, just for a few minutes, I wanted to talk to you about just our church, meaning our church, both sides. I know we have a team. Our team there is leading, and our roles have shifted over the years. But I want you to be aware, and I want you to be in touch with what the Lord is doing here, because I still believe everything that the Lord does here and under our ministry should also be happening there in our house. And the revival fires, you hear us talk much about this. You heard PC talk about it. You've heard me now a number of times, I suppose, speaking about it. But man, I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful for Jesus. I'm so thankful for salvation. I'm so thankful that he comes and meets us right where we're at, in whatever season it is that we're in. And for me, as much as we were doing what it seemed like we were doing, and the church doing well, and we seemed to be working hard in these things, but there were some areas that we were just holding back on. And really, for us, China is our standard. I mean, China and what the Lord enabled us to do there has become our standard for all things. And though the work is ongoing and we're still figuring out the work there, and the teams on the ground are having now to grow in the Lord and grow in faith and grow in leadership skills and abilities to grow the work there on the ground. But what we did there in terms of what the Lord enabled, the favor and the open doors for the gathering and for the educational platforms and for the healing home, and just kind of all the tentacles into the community in all these various ways. Well, that's really just our heartbeat, and we don't ever want to just be just a church again, just a regular old church again. Not that we ever were, but we just want to make sure that we never do become that. And so with that, and with the revival fires burning, I mean, evangelism, I know while PC was there was a lot of focus on evangelism, and here evangelism just continues. We're literally on the evangelism front. We are going out twice a month on Saturday mornings till about early afternoons, targeting different areas, knocking on doors, going to places where people are outside, and are raising up an evangelism team. There's around 30 or so people so far that kind of rotate through the evangelism days, but we're just doing it. We're just going to these areas. And then we're setting up events, outside events, where we're going and inviting these people to and just bringing the gospel, doing some giveaways here and there, giving away some backpacks and giving away meals, of course, as always. And we bought a bus. We call it the Donkey. And we go out every Sunday morning now, and really during the middle of the week for single moms, and Sunday mornings for service, and any time that there's an event that people want to be at and can't get to, the Donkey is available. But really, primarily on the Sunday mornings, I mean, this Donkey is going out twice a Sunday, picking up families. I mean, we literally have whole families being picked up and being brought into the house of God, and it's a precious thing. It's a beautiful thing that children, teenagers, adults alike that would not be able to be in the house, because America is horrible about public transportation, and you can't just get on where we live. You just can't get on a subway. You can't even get on a bus. There's not even a bus, if you can believe it. There's no bus. There's no subway, metro. You know, it's either you have a car, you have somebody picking you up, or you're walking, and nobody walks. You know, America's unhealthy. And they don't even have sidewalks. Like the road that our church is on, there's literally no sidewalks to walk on, if you can imagine that. And so when people ride bikes, you literally have to ride a bike in the middle of the road. It's insane. But maybe they'll get a clue eventually. But on the evangelism front, we call it the Awaken the North Shore, and it's a priority. Man, when revival fire is burning your heart, the Great Commission just rises to the surface. You can't just be a closed-in, boxed-in group of people. You got to go out, and you've got to be telling people, and I want to encourage you to be going out, to make sure our team is scheduling regular outings, regular opportunities to be going out and evangelizing and sharing the gospel. Another front that I wanted to bring to you and remind you and tell you is the continued prayer. Listen, prayer is increasing, and it has to increase. When Jesus is the love of your life and the passion of your heart, you have to be praying. You have to be spending time in Him. The last couple of weeks that you may get to these messages at some point, but I've been ministering on walking in the Spirit. And walking in the Spirit is contrary to the works of the flesh. And we can't give into the desires and the works of the flesh, but we got to be a people of the Spirit. And the way that we accomplish that is by being a praying people, a word people, an evangelizing people, a worshiping people. And so prayer is just continuing to increase. This month, I actually felt on my heart for this month to actually have daily prayer at 6:30 a.m. So for the month of October, we're praying every day. We have people assigned every day that come to the church, 6:30 in the morning, and every day we're praying for at least an hour. And there's normally 3, 4, 5 people that show up, including myself or PC and or one of our pastors or leaders, James or Deb or somebody, and daily prayer for the month of October. I'm believing God. I'm asking God, I guess is the more appropriate way of saying it. I'm asking the Lord, is this something that we can do moving forward until you come back? I mean, can everybody take a day? Like everybody, and I know in Shanghai it's a little bit different in terms of travel time, but not impossible. So just hear what I'm saying, let it permeate on your hearts, and let's just see what the Lord's doing. But we have to be praying. And I'm asking the Lord, is this something that we can do sustainably moving forward into the future until Jesus comes back? Imagine being a church that has a designated prayer time every single day, like at the church. where people can come. It's like I told the guys on Wednesday night that, if you get in a car accident or you have an emergency, man, we have more faith that the hospital is going to be open and ready to receive, patients than we do in the church being open in the house of God. I mean, the church is closed, right? And the hospital's open. I'm like, let's be a church that's open 7 days a week, whether we're praying, whether we're having service, whether we're having connect groups, whether we're having learning community, whether we're having counseling, whatever it might be, being a church that is open. And that just comes with becoming a house of prayer and a house of worship and in every aspect of what we do. So we're praying every day and hoping that and praying that that is something that is sustainable and can continue into the future. So those are some highlights. Lots of opportunity. We're also, and this will be the last one I share with you today. I realize I can talk forever. I know that you know that. It's 21 minutes already, and I feel like I just started a minute ago. But when we were out on one of our Saturday morning evangelisms 2 weeks ago, it's a poor part of town, and there's obviously a lot of need. It's obvious there's a lot of need. And some of our teams were ministering in this little apartment section where it's actually a cute little apartments. You would not be able to tell coming into them that it was an area of poverty and need, because I think maybe the government or somebody helped make them kind of cute. But our team's praying with people and sharing Jesus with people, and I come out of there and come around the corner, and there's this property. And for a long time now, we've been wanting to do a healing home type of ministry here. I say a long time, meaning since we've not been in Shanghai and been back wherever we've been, we want another healing home. Healing home continues there. We want one here. It's part of our heartbeat. It's part of what we do. It's part of who we are. We're calling it the restoration community here. Considered calling it the healing home, but I don't know. I just can't do it. That's China. So we're going to call it the restoration community, Reach Restoration Community. But I pull around this corner after leaving this neighborhood, this apartment complex where our people are ministering, and there's this property with a for sale sign. And I tell you, my heart kind of leaped within me. And I think I might have actually I think it might have been the Lord. And the Lord just saying, well, here you go. Here's your property. And I said, okay. Called up the real estate agent. And by Wednesday, of course, Abigail just got married on Saturday. So we've been consumed with that for the last month plus, we had the wedding at our house. And so that was beautiful and wonderful. And so Abby is married. Can you believe that? James and Abby are now married. And James has his second baby coming, and Jesse in December. And so, time goes. Remember when we were all young? And at least I was younger. A lot of y'all were young. And there were a lot of others of us that are in different places that were very young, but some of us remember those days when we were all young. And so now I'm standing on this property and just feeling the Lord, just feeling like I might be hearing the Lord, and my heart just sort of getting excited. Went and looked at it with a real estate agent. Short story shorter, the week of the wedding, literally like Wednesday or Thursday, like we're getting ready for wedding brain. I still got to preach on Sunday. We're still doing everything we got to do. So we're juggling. We're doing a juggling act with all these things. And I put an offer in on this property. I don't think they're going to accept it, but it was a low offer. And but the point that I'm getting to is that, man, this is the time to be in faith. We got to get ourselves in faith. We got to get stirred up. We got to get riled up for the things of God, for prayer, for evangelizing, for getting out in faith, for trusting God, for building and advancing the kingdom of God, taking it violently. And so, yeah, so we're doing all that. So anyway, I got to be quiet here. I'm going too long, but I'm going to do these videos more often just to kind of keep you hearing my heart and staying in tune with what's happening there. You can hear from me, and to kind of keep, when you hear my heart and the things that we're doing, I'm believing that our team there and you, that faith can rise up, conviction can rise up, and some of these things we can just, it'll encourage you.